Hello, Facebook. How are you doing? Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? Say hi if you come on. Say hi. Hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Alrighty? Alrighty. So, we're having Shipwreck dinner. That's what it's called. Alrighty? Um, I'm doubling it, so it's supposed to have 1 can of diced tomatoes. So I got petite dice. I just got them because of. I had this left over. I haven't used it, so I'm going to use it. These are diced tomatoes, but they're fire roasted, so I'm gonna give it a little. It'll give it a little kick. Okay, and it says to cook the ground beef, mix everything together, and then add some salt and pepper. But I'm gonna do something different. I'm going to put this in the ground beef while it's cooking. Okay, I have a lot of people left under the recipe. They left comments talking about. Some of them talked about different spices. I mean, different seasonings that they put in the ground beef. Like they put onion powder, garlic powder. The garlic powder is in a bag that I filled with some seasonings because we're gonna move Friday. So I don't feel like taking it out, so I decided to do that. And I might put a little bit of salt and pepper. Let me see. But I think this has. It says use it like salt. When it's salty enough, it's seasoned to perfection. Keep container closed when not in use. Oh, this says it has a spice level for everyone. So they have mild, medium, and hot. So you can buy a hot one in this Tony Satchers. But I got the original. But it says use it like salt. So I might put a little pepper in there. I thought there was pepper in here, but I guess not. I'll put a little pepper in, but I don't need salt because it says use it like salt. Okay? But if you want to do it the way the directions said, it just says salt and pepper, and it tells you to do it afterwards or something. Okay? So it's 1 pound ground beef, but I'm using 2. 1 package of macaroni and cheese. I'm using 2. The 1 can diced tomatoes, I'm using 2. 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of frozen peas, and 1 cup of frozen corn. I'm using 2 of all that, milk, peas, and corn. 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt to taste. 1 teaspoon seasoned salt or to taste. So that's salt and pepper. I guess I did. It just says 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt. I'm just going to use the Tony Satchers. But the seasoned salt is said to put in after everything is mixed. I'd rather put some seasonings with the ground beef. And this does not say it, but if you wanted to, you could add a few onions if you want onions in your ground beef, mixed with your ground beef. I guess you could add bell peppers. I'm not going to, but that's just an idea. Okay? And if you don't like peas, you can double like if you're making a single, just 1 cup. But since you're not putting peas, you can put 2 cups of corn. Or you can put 4 cups of corn if you're doubling it. Or you could use mixed vegetables. I just thought of that. You could use mixed vegetables. Let's see. So, yeah, and you can use other seasonings in your ground beef if you want. So, okay? So we're going to start with the ground beef now. If I forgot to take it out, I forgot what time it was. Oh, it's still really frozen. It's still kind of frozen. Oh, really? All right, so I should have looked at it before I put it in some water. So to fix that, I'm going to try and cut it up. Okay. hope it's not like super hard. But I'm going to try to cut it up in little pieces. That way it will cook faster. Because I've cooked it from frozen before and just scraped off the meat as it's getting thawed out. But that took forever. I think I did that way back when I was with my ex-husband. But he was doing most of the scraping because he was stronger than me, but I wasn't working so well. It worked, I mean, but okay, so let me get the big knife. The big knife. Let's bring you a little closer. Okay, and let's bring this down a little bit so you can see this stove. Okay. Alrighty. Anybody come on here yet? No. Let me do something real quick. Oh shoot. Okay, I've got the Cash App on YouTube, guys. Let me. Okay. That didn't work. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me. I don't know what happened. Copy link. Okay. I just copied the link again because I don't know what happened. Oh, what happened? Okay, there's the Amazon Facebook. I'm going to take the Cash App and I'm going to pin it. And if you want to read the start comment, you can go back to the top, okay? It's a little more frozen than I thought, but not as frozen as when you first pull it out because I was able to cut through it. Just a little pressure. Just a little pressure. All right. Just okay. I should have checked this before, but I didn't. So sorry, guys. Y'all can see it all. Okay. All righty. Okay. Oh, let me get some of this down. Not that. Okay. Okay. So, let's do this. Alrighty. Alrighty. That in half. That in half. That. Okay. Righty. All right, I was just checking the text message. Well, I didn't actually check it. I just looked at the number. It's not a important one, so I'll check it later. Now, the only one I will answer and look at real quick is my husband's. My shorts keep getting tangled on the little handle on the door under the sink. I don't know why. Every time I walk by it. Ouch. The knife just hit my finger. It didn't cut it, so I got to be careful. It hit it right on the other spot where I cut it, but I thought it would make it bleed. No, I just tapped it, but it didn't. Do nothing major, people. I just got to be careful. Okay, so got it all cut up into like long pieces. Now I'm cutting them up into tiny pieces. I'm getting scared here. Let me see. That down. Let me see. Okay, we're almost done here. Oops. Almost done here. Okay. I want the pieces as little as I can so they can cook faster. Oh, that's the same number. It just dings twice. If I don't look at the message, it dings a second time. That's it. Okay. Almost there. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to turn the water on. I use the side of my hand, just so I can rinse this cutting board and knife, and I can get my rag and wipe the counter down. So a couple of pieces of ground beef went on the counter itself, so I don't want to, spread any contamination. So, okay, let me use this hand. Turn the stove on. Start heating up the pan. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to use my hand and break up these pieces that they have stuck together. Alrighty. Now, let me rinse this cutting board. Okay. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay. I was going to dry my hands, but I forgot I got to wet this. Now, if our water is really hot, Well, it's not right now. It's not that hot. Well, I mean, it's hot, but sometimes it's so hot you're like, you pull your hands out because it's hot. If I take the hot rag, and yeah, it's pretty hot now. Whew. And I wipe the counter down with it. You think that will that clear any? Will that take away any like of the raw meat that touched the counter? Let me know. Because I went over it twice. I wet the rag again because it cools off pretty quick. So okay. So put that down there. Now I'm going to dry my hands with paper towel. I'm just going to keep this right here. Okay, so I'm going to take this again, my meat masher, and mash it. See? It was pretty frozen. Not just, like sometimes it's just frozen in the middle. So I just take off the part that's not frozen and then cut the rest. But the whole thing was still frozen. Not frozen like when you take it out the freezer, but still frozen. So I cut it up into little pieces and look, it's mashing pretty well. So that's why you can do that. Okay? So if it's still pretty frozen or half frozen, you can take off the parts that are not frozen and then just cut up the rest. Like cut it up into strips, skinny strips, and then cut the strips into little pieces. Okay? Oh. Because that'll work. So some of them are a little hard, but it'll just, in a minute, it'll. You get it mashed real good, and then I'm going to put the seasoning on it. Okay? Because it says seasoning afterwards, after you mix everything. And it said seasoned salt. I think it said 1 teaspoon, or as you like, of seasoned salt. And I don't know exactly what seasons, but I have something called Season All. Season All. And then if you'd rather just use salt and pepper, because it just says season all. I thought it said salt and pepper, but. Okay, so let that cook. I'll mash it a little bit more. Let me get this. Let me put it on now. I will taste the ground beef once it's done cooking. Okay, and I'm just going to put some pepper. What happened? You stopped running. I haven't barely used it. I haven't barely used this. I don't know what's wrong. I have this that's left, so lucky me. I got to check the batteries. I have a few more batteries, so I'm going to put 2 in there and see if it works. If it don't work, then there's something wrong with that. Because I haven't used it that enough for the batteries to die. And they're, all right, that should be enough. And they're Duracell, some good brands, so they should be lasting longer. So I'll check it late after dinner. Okay. Okay, so it's all smashed up enough so I can rinse it and just use this spoon so I can Finish stirring it and stirring everything else. Okay, because it says heat a large skillet over medium-high heat. Cook and stir beef in hot skillet until brown and crumbly, 5 to 7 minutes. Step 2 says stir pasta and cheese mixture from the macaroni and cheese package into beef. Stir in tomatoes, milk, peas, and corn. Bring to a boil. Reduce heat to medium-low. Cover. Bring to a boil and then reduce heat medium-low. Cover and simmer until noodles are tender, about 12 minutes. Okay? Now, before I turn the heat off, I will taste it to make sure the noodles are tender. Okay? Then step 3, you want to season with seasoned salt. So actually, until it's cooked, you don't add the seasoned salt. You see? But I rather season the ground beef now. Okay? I'll taste it and see if I want to add some seasoned salt. Stir half of the cheddar cheese into the dish to melt. So put half of what they call for of the cheese in the dish, stir it all up, mix it all up to melt, and top with the remaining cheese on top. Okay? Now the cheese they call for is 1 cup shredded cheese divided. Now I'm doing double, so I would do 2 cups. Put 1 cup in there, mix it up, and the other cup on top. But when it comes to me, I don't measure cheese. Okay? So I'm going to take a handful, just throw it in there, stir it up, and then take another handful, and after I flatten it out and just sprinkle it around. Okay? More or less for you, you know. Okay? Now, if you have if you got a low ground beef, like 80-20 or 73-27 or something like that, whatever it is, you might want to drain it in your draining thing. And then, but if you got a higher one, like 90-10 or 96 something or something, if you got the 96 or 97, you may not have to do anything, but I got the 90-10. And it looks like I can just push the ground beef to one side, tilt it a little bit, and the grease will come to one side, and I can just pat it with a paper towel. Okay? That's the new thing that's been around, that little trick. But I would not really do it with paper towel if it was like a 73 or an 80-20, because that's a lot of grease. So I wouldn't do it. I just do it with the higher ones just to get, So it's almost there. It's 3/4 of the way. There's a few red pieces in here, but most of it's brown. But I'm going to get it all done, and then I'm going to taste the piece of meat to see how it tastes with that seasoning. Now, let me see. The season all. It's got salt, spices, including pepper. It says including something pepper, and then black pepper and celery seed and onion, garlic. So you see, you really don't need this. They have about some of the same. And it's got salt in it too, so. All right, a few more minutes and it should be done. Okay. Let me get out the measuring cup so I can measure the milk. Okay, so 1 cup of milk, so I do 2. So let me go ahead. I'm going to just pour it in here. Okay. I was thinking of adding a little more of I'm going to see how much these noodles look like in there, because I do have some elbow macaroni, and I could add a little more. I think they're a little tiny bit fatter, but And then once it boils, after you put everything in there, then you want to turn it down to medium low. Okay, so I'm going to take out the 1 cup for the vegetables to measure. I'm going to take the vegetables out now because it's almost done. Okay. I bought a bag of peas, but then I saw that I had these. See, I got the clip on it because I didn't use the new peas I got, so I was like, oh, darn. Sorry, guys, it was all frozen, so I was just banging it to, break. Oops. No, the clip came off. Okay, let's see corn. I wish I would have had a small bag of. If there's a corn called for a recipe, I'm gonna get a small bag of regular corn. But this is super sweet corn, and it's cooked in the bag in the microwave. I don't have the other regular kind. See, I bought a. So we will have to. I just have to use one of these. Hopefully, 2 cups will take almost the whole bag. Let me see. 2/3 cup is 2/3, 4/3, 6/3 is in this bag. 6/3 is 3 into 6 is 2. It's 2 cups. Oh, it might be exact. I'm still gonna measure it, but wow, with my math, I think it is. But I want to just make sure I'm right. Okay, let's open this. Oops, we use something else. When my husband goes to the gym, he makes some kind of drink with his powder. So he uses the what do you call it? The thing to mix it all up. The mixer thing, not the hand mixer. All right, before I throw the lid away, let me see. Does it want it drained? It just says diced tomatoes. It doesn't say drain it. Okay, let's do the regular one. Okay, so it's done. So I'm pushing the ground beef to the side. Okay, and I'm just going to tilt so the grease can come my way. Come on, grease. It's taking forever. Well, I'll have to tilt it again because what you do is you make sure you rub the grease with the spoon, so don't take your hand and rub it like that. I'm going to do it one more time because I think this has I don't know why this looks like it has a little more grease than the other times I did this. I think that should be enough. Okay? Okay. So, guys, now we should be on step 2. Stir in pasta and cheese into beef, then with the tomatoes. So let's do this. Box doesn't want. Ow. Okay. 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 Okay, so let's stir this in, mix it around. Ooh. Okay. Mix it around. Okay, then the tomatoes. Okay. That was good. Okay. All right, guys. All right, hold on. Okay. Okay. So let's stir up the tomatoes. Okay, it stops sizzling so hard like the meat was gonna burn because it's got the tomato juice in there, so it calmed it down. All right. Then milk and then peas and corn. You can do it in any order you want. I don't think it'll matter. But oh, I forgot to taste a piece of the meat. I'm gonna put a little more in there. I'm not gonna wait till the end till it's done because I don't feel like it. Okay. Oh, I kept thinking, what the hell is in my food? That's black. And I forgot I put fire roasted. So it's got a little black on some of the tomato pieces because it's fire roasted. Okay. Now, let's come over here. It's just like a pinch over. So that's fine. Okay. Let me stir that in because I don't like to have a lot of stuff piled in here and then try to stir it all in at once. So. And if you wanted, I just came up with this idea. If you wanted, you could, at the end it says stir some cheese in it, half the cheese in it. So put some cheese in it, stir it in there, and then dump it into a casserole dish and sprinkle some cheese on top and then put it in the oven to melt the top of the cheese. I'm not going to do that, but you could. Okay? You definitely could, peoples. Just giving you an idea. Oh, and I might start saying stuff like, if you make this dinner, post a picture of it here. If you can find this post later on. Hi, Miss Debbie. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hi, Donna Vinua. I don't know if I said your name correctly. Can you see? Is that better? Is that better, guys? So what I did was the ground beef is done. I put Tony Satchers on the ground beef. It says to put seasonal after it's done cooking. After everything is mixed and done cooking. I don't know why, but I'd rather put some stuff on my ground beef, so I put this. You can put any seasoning you want. You don't have to do the seasonal. I'm going to tell you that. Okay? So when the ground beef is done, drain it. Dump in the macaroni and cheese, because I use 2 boxes of macaroni and cheese, because I'm doubling it. So I use 2 pounds of ground beef. 2 pounds of ground beef. Then put in, stir it up, and then put in diced tomatoes. I put in 2 cans of diced tomatoes, since I'm doubling it. It's usually only 1 or 1 pound of ground beef. Now, the second can was fire roasted tomatoes. I didn't plan that, but I had 1 left, so I decided to use that instead of regular diced tomatoes. So 1 regular and 1 fire roasted. Then after that, put in a cup of milk, or 2 cups of milk, as I did, because I'm doubling it. 2 cups of milk. Then you want to put in a cup, but I put in 2 cups because once again I'm doubling, of corn. How to do that? Oh, of corn. I don't remember what hand. Does that do anything? I don't know what made the balloons. I forgot. But anyways, 2 cups of corn and 2 cups of peas. Now, if you don't like peas or you don't like corn, you know, you could put in, like, if you're doubling it and you don't like corn, put 4 cups of peas, or 4 cups of corn if you don't like peas, or you could put in 2 cups of mixed vegetables, or whatever you want, okay? All right. So let's do this. We're going to put in 2 cups of peas. It's 1 cup of everything, and 1 pound of ground beef, and 1 box of macaroni and cheese, and 1 can of diced tomatoes. If you are just doing it single, okay? I like to have leftovers. And there's just less than a handful in there, so I'm going to pour the rest in there. Okay, so let's mix in. Donna, are you still here? Let me know if you are. Tell me, is that better? And Miss Debbie, if you're here, does that look like a better view? Can you see what I'm doing over there? Is that a better view? Hi, Shannon. Hi. Is that a better view than I had before? I kind of tilted it, but it's being held on the corner by the olive oil bottle. Is that a better view than it usually is? Anybody let me know that's on here. I guess the other 2 left. Because Shannon, there was one other girl in here. I don't think I've ever met her. Her name was Donna something. She asked, could I fix the camera so it could be a better view, because it might help if you can see what I'm doing. I try to explain everything, but is that, Shannon, is that a better view? Is that a better view? Let me know. I'm going to put a little bit more milk in here because it looks like it's not totally covered. So we're going to add a little bit more milk in here. And I'm going to go to the table, because that's where my pasta is. And I'm going to go get my elbow macaroni. Find the one that's open. My elbow macaroni, and I'm going to put 1 or 2 handfuls in. When I make hamburger helper from the box, I like to put 1 or 2 extra handfuls in there too. Maybe 3 handfuls. Because it's just a little tiny fatter, but not much. You know. All right, there we go. That's it. So. So let me know, Shannon, is that view better than it was before? Other times I did it, some lady mentioned it, and I thought if I take the camera and move it back and tilt it a little forward, I thought it might fall. But no, if I move the olive oil bottle, it still stands as long as I don't touch it. Okay, see? How was that? Let me know, Shannon. Okay, let's stir it. And it has to come to a boil. It was starting to boil, but I put a little more milk in. You know, milk's cold. So once it gets to a boil, turn it down to medium-low. Put the lid on it. And let it go for 12 minutes, it says. But I had somebody, let me check to make sure it says, put the lid on it. Yes, cover. Okay. Okay, so. Okay, so. All right, so. Oh, yeah, I definitely can, Shannon. I definitely can. See? Oops, let me turn this around. See? If you can see, you can tell it's starting to boil. Can you see that? You can see it's starting to boil. So, there we go. Let me back it up some. See, there's corn and peas in there. You know. You can put more corn if you don't like peas, or the opposite. Or you can add mixed vegetables. I mean, if you tried broccoli, I don't know how that would really work. Because broccoli's thick, but it might work. But let's see. All right, guys. My husband just texted me. He's the only one. Alrighty. So let me give it one more stir, and then I'm gonna flatten it out, and it's about boiling. So, and taste it before you turn it off after the 12 minutes. Because I read, like, under the recipes in all recipes, you know, those recipe apps and all of them, usually after you click on a link and get to the recipe, under the recipe, it usually has some comments or reviews. So, some people, besides saying they use different seasonings, only one person said that after 12 minutes it wasn't ready. They had to add on a few more minutes. So it says 12, but I doubled it, so I don't know. So after 12 minutes, I will taste it to see if the pasta is done. And if it's not, and it's not enough liquid, I will add some more milk and bring it back to a boil, and then, because it's kind of boiling. All right, so let's see. Let's get this lid on. Okay, let's get the lid on and bring it down to medium low. Let's see. Okay. Medium low is 3. When it says simmer, I usually put it on 4, but medium low is 3. So between 3 and a 4. So you saw it really good, Shannon? It is. It's superb, Shannon. I'm telling you. You need to kind of write the recipe down. All right, I'm going to write the name of the app, or you can go to allrecipes.com. I have to because my app is not working. allrecipes.com. Okay, you see that, Shannon? You go to allrecipes.com and you can make an account. Fill out, make an account. And once you make an account, you can look up on the search bar, Shipwreck dinner. You have to put Shipwreck dinner. And then once you do that and find it, you can click the heart. The heart is for saving it, okay? And then you can make different categories if you want. Like you can make, do they have the categories, or you have to name the categories? Like you can put categories: dinner, salad, dessert. So, it'll still stay all as one, and it'll say all the recipes. But then you can separate them into dinner, salad, different things like that. So you can just, like if it's a dinner recipe, you can just click on dinners and find it real easy. If it's a dessert you're making, you can look in there and find it, your dessert one, okay? You can even click on this thing that tells you, if you want to, it's like a spinner. What you do is you put what meat you want, how long you want. Like if you want chicken and you want it no longer than like an hour, it'll tell you the categories you got to pick from. Then it'll spin and it'll bring up different recipes, stuff like that. But you'll figure it out once you see so if you want to do that, you can, and you'll find this in there. Or you can go back and look at my video and write down the recipe, which I'll tell you guys exactly right now so you can have it all in one. All right, so the ingredients are, and I'm going to name them as single, okay? I'm not going to, and then, double it if you want to double it, okay? 1 pound of lean ground beef, 1 package of macaroni and cheese mix. That's all it says, macaroni and cheese mix. So it doesn't say the blue box or the Velveeta. I guess you can use whatever you want, okay? 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of frozen peas, 1 cup of frozen corn, 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt or to taste, 1 cup of shredded cheese, cheddar cheese divided. So remember, you can use a different seasoning or a different vegetable, okay? And the cheese, when you mix the cheese in there, they want you to use half a cup and then the half cup over top. But you don't have to, you can just take a handful and plop it in there, mix it up, then sprinkle on some more cheese over the top. You really don't have to measure the cheese, but some people like the measurements, okay? And then here you go. Step 1, heat a large skillet over medium-high heat. Cook and stir your beef in a hot skillet until it's brown and crumbly, 5 to 7 minutes, okay? It's going to tell you to put the seasoned salt at the end when this is done cooking. When this is all done cooking, it's going to tell you to put the seasoned salt. But if you prefer, you can put any seasoning you want in the ground beef. Most people like to put their seasoning on the ground beef as it's cooking. You can add onions. You know how a lot of recipes say add onions to your ground beef or bell peppers, whatever. But you don't have to do that. This doesn't say do it, but then after that, you stir the pasta. You drain it first. It doesn't say drain, but there's too much liquid in there. You don't want to, because the grease from the ground beef will just float in the thing and you'll see it. It's kind of, so you stir the pasta and the cheese, the macaroni pasta and the cheese mixture from the macaroni and cheese package into the beef, stir it up. Then stir in your tomatoes, your milk, your peas and corn or whatever vegetables. Bring to a boil, and once it boils, Reduce the heat to medium low. So in between low and medium. So if you have numbers on your thing, it's about a 3. But if you don't, then you know, everybody probably knows. Okay, then step 3, season with seasoned salt. Now, if you already put your seasoning in the ground beef, you don't need to do that. But you can taste it to see if it has enough seasoning and add more if you want. But also taste it, not only to taste the seasoning, if it's enough, but also to make sure your macaroni is done after 12 minutes. Okay? Because it'll be, once it boils, it'll be on medium low for 12 minutes. Okay? Just taste it, and if it's not enough, and if you want to add just a handful or so of more elbow macaroni, you can. But stir with seasoned salt. That's if you didn't put the seasoning in already. Stir half the cheddar cheese into the dish to melt. Or you could just put a handful in or whatever you want. You could put 2 handfuls if you want. Whatever you want. And then you top with the remaining cheese. Whatever you want. You could just take a handful and just sprinkle it around. Whatever you want. And if you don't like a lot of cheese, you can put a little bit. Okay? And if you don't want to use cheddar cheese, so be it. Use whatever cheese you want. It says cheddar cheese, but you can use whatever you want. I'm going to use cheddar cheese, but, you know. Usually if it says use cheddar cheese and I just put taco seasoning in my ground beef and made it like a Mexican taco meal, I'm going to use Mexican cheese. You know what I mean? But I didn't put no taco seasoning in this time, Shannon. Nope. So it almost reminds you of a hamburger helper. Okay? And if you want the cheese that you sprinkle on top to melt, you can also put the lid on it and let it set for a minute or 2. Okay? All right. So if you want to get to this part, which I'll tell you, it is, where are we at? Let me see. We're at 51 minutes and 42 seconds. So if you want to go to 50 or 51 minutes and write down the recipe, since I said it all in one thing, then you can. And see if your mom will help you make it, Shannon. Maybe your mom will help you make it. Now, if you use Velveeta, if you use Velveeta macaroni and cheese, you know, it'll be the cheese that you pull out squish out the bag, but that usually doesn't need any milk and butter, but we're not putting butter in here, but we're still putting the milk because the milk's the liquid that you're going to cook the macaroni in. Now, I forgot to turn the timer on when I was talking to you guys. So just a little while ago, I put it on for 11 minutes. So it's been 4 minutes since then. So every once in a while, like you do with hamburger helper, it says to stir it so nothing sticks at the bottom. Give it a stir. See, it's sticking a little at the bottom. So you don't want that. Yes, it is. It's sticking. So stir it every few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to have to try to unstick it. And if I can't get it all, I'll just have to. This pan is real easy to clean. Oh, it's coming off. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, it may take a little longer because I am going to add a little more milk because it doesn't look like it's enough. Okay, it didn't look like it was enough. Okay, that's probably because I added a little more macaroni. So just add a little bit more milk than the 1 cup if you're going to add your own elbow macaroni. If you're going to add a couple handfuls, add a little bit more milk. Okay, and I will check to see if that's enough in a few minutes. Okay, now it's down to almost 5.5 minutes. Okay, it may take a little longer than 12 because I just put some more milk in there, but we'll see. Okay. Okay. Now it says frozen corn, But if all you have is canned corn, uh, I'm guessing that will work. I'm not going to promise you. If you're going to be the one to try it, so be it. Because it could work. Corn is corn. I'm just wondering, does it want you to use frozen because it doesn't want it to cook too fast or be too mushy, or is there any other reason? But it could work. I'm pretty sure it could. But I don't want you to say, well, she said it would work, and then it doesn't work, and so. But yeah. Okay, it's starting to boil again. It didn't take it down too much. Okay, so let's see if anybody else is on here. Anybody else? No. Let's see. Anybody come on? Nope, nobody came on YouTube. So, I mean, Shannon, do you think that each step I do, that I should take the camera over there and show it? Because see, I tried to keep it down like that. But you know how, I don't know if you've seen anybody's videos, which theirs are quick. Anybody's videos that oh, sorry, I'm out the camera. That you could see exactly what they're doing. The camera is like, how do I say it? I mean, like this one guy, he cooks the ground. Like, I'm just gonna use ground beef. He does other chicken and other meals, but like ground beef, it'll be cooked up. He'll bring it over by the camera. He'll throw in some onions or whatever he's gonna throw in, mix it up, and then put it back on the stove. He'll leave, the stove on, put it back on there, do that, and then bring, stuff like that. Maybe I should do that. But I'm hoping I can like bring it a little closer, because the way this one guy does it, he if I find one of his videos, Shannon, I'll send it to you on Messenger so you can see who he is. I love the way at the end when he tastes the food, he goes, "Oh my gosh," like that when it's so good. But and then he'll say, like, right when he's right before he puts the cheese on, he'll say, "You knew it was coming. You just knew." Or if he does it a little earlier in the recipe, he says, "You knew it was coming. It's just a little bit before I usually do it, or before time, but you knew it was coming." He's so cool. But I'll send you one of his videos and just see if you like him. And also, just look at the way he has the camera set up. You can't see the camera, but what you can see, how you can see what he does. And I'm trying to figure out how to set up the camera that way. But if I ever get money, which that's why I'm also trying to get a lot of stars and Cash App, so the money can go towards my content and helping me. It's hot in here. Helping me, get any things that I need. Like one of those tall, round lights that people use in the room where they record. It could be a pre-recorder, it could be a live. Or also those tall little camera holders, so I can hold the iPad or the phone, and it'll show better, and I can just like play around with it and see what position is better, and those kind of things. I think you can lower the legs, higher up the legs, and I can, keep playing with it, see which is the best. Stuff like that. That's what I mean by, so I can do more content, get some stuff I need to add to my, equipment so I could do better. And one day in the future, maybe I'll get one of those recording camera things that people use to record, better than my phone and stuff. So when I go on YouTube, when I go on Elizabeth Gibbs, this page that I'm on now, Elizabeth Gibbs Facebook page, and Instagram, AngelBabyGirl77, if you want to check it out. I could go on one on my iPad and then one on that fancy camera once I buy it in the future. But I got to find a way, if there's a way to, how do I say it? After I'm done recording it, is there a way, how do they send it to their Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you want to send it to? I don't know. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to stir it up and then I'm going to try it to make sure the noodles are cooked. Okay, that's what I'm concerned about. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get a single. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's so good, guys. All right, let me get some. Mustard over. Okay. So this was the big bag, so it was harder to get on top of. I've got a bunch of cheeses, so okay. So just put a handful in there, or whatever amount you want. It would be, if you're doing single, it would be half a cup and then half a cup on top. But if you're doubling, it would be a whole cup and then a whole cup on top. But you don't have to follow that. If you want more or less, so be it. Okay, so now we used to have this guy, not the guy, Shannon, that just left, not my daughter's ex-boyfriend, but we used to have another guy. It was Alvin's old childhood friend. When he was staying with us, he is lactose intolerant, so he couldn't have cheese. So if we were going to make this, before I added stirred the cheese in, I would say, do you want some? Oh, no, that would not work either because I forgot the macaroni and cheese has cheese. So I made a lot of meals with cheese, and I don't know. I used to apologize. I'm so sorry. Okay, so got that cheese in there. So let me spread it out flat. Okay. All right. Put the lid here. So I spread it out flat. Okay. Let me show you. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn it off now so the bottom doesn't burn. All right, and then I'm going to do the cheese. I'm going to sprinkle it over the top. Now, if I wanted to, I could have turned on the oven and and just stuck this whole pan in there to let the top melt. You know, you can do that. Or if you use a pan that can't go in the oven, you can put it in a casserole dish. This pan can. I think 400 is the highest or something. I don't know. Okay. All right, so that's enough. So what I'm going to do for a few minutes, to see nobody on YouTube, okay. I am going to put the lid on it, and I turned it off, but the burner is still hot because I just turned it off. So I'm going to let it sit there for a couple of minutes to melt the top of the cheese. It should do that a little bit. I can try that, but the problem with that, Shannon, is that it's a live video, okay? And because it's a live video, once I'm done, it automatically posts to Facebook. Same thing with YouTube. Once I'm done, once I say finish, it posts to YouTube. And when I there's no way to say save the video so I can post it later. It doesn't work that way with the lives. So if I wanted to do that, it would have. I'm thinking I could, but it would have to be a pre-record, like, you know, when I just record it, not a live, but just make a video and then post it later after because I have an editing app, Shannon, an app where you edit. It also has templates where you can make funny videos. You know, you add pictures and it makes funny videos. But anyways, but you can edit and do a lot of different edits on this app. I just don't know how. I know it's been over a year, and I still don't know how to do editing on a video. So my plan is I'm just going to make, like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minute video. Just to talk. Not a live video, just a regular video. And then put it on that app and just make different edits to it and play around with it. It's not going to be kept and it's not being posted. It's just so I can play around with it and see, you know. Or one of the pre-recorded videos that I did when I made crock pots. Because, you know, like I told you before, when I make a crock pot meal, it's a pre-record because I'm not going to set up the crock pot, be live, and then wait 8 hours on live while it cooks. No. And I don't want to just go off and then come back live. I could do a part 1 live and a part 2 live, but I do a pre-record. But take one of those videos and just play around with it. Don't save that one, but just play around with it, you know? I know, right? That's why I said I'll make a video. Just a regular video, not a live. About a 10-minute one so I can have a long enough video. And then just put it in the app and play around with different things and see how it works. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. I want to show you... I'll show you, Shannon, and anybody else who watches the replay, because there's nobody else on here. This is what it looks like with the cheese on it. I put the lid on it and I let the cheese melt. Yeah, a little bit in the middle, and over here didn't, but that's okay. But you see that? That looks so good. I think I've made this once before. I don't remember. Let me take a picture with my phone. Okay. Let's do it this way. All right. Now let me see if I can. I'll post a picture of YouTube on YouTube so you can see it, because I know when I show you this, you're not going to see it clear, but I'm just going to do it anyway. See? So, yes. I know that wasn't clear. I don't know if it's something wrong with my computer or what. But, so, let me put it in a bowl. I cooked at 6 o'clock instead of 6:30 because we got that little old car fixed. I mean, it takes a while to get started because it hasn't been run in 2 years plus. But my husband gets off at 6 and he should be home by 6:30 or 6:45, the latest. And tomorrow he starts his new job. So when he texted me and said I'm on my way home, I was like, why so late? It was almost 7 o'clock. So he said because he was helping his mechanic Javier with something, some car or something he was doing. He was helping him out. So, and he was saying all his goodbyes since this is his last day. It's not the coworkers that he doesn't like, it's the company. And he needed more money. So he should be home by 7:30 or 7:45. I would have done 6:30 if I would have known that. If I would have done 6:30, 30 minutes later, then it probably would have been 7:45, almost 8 o'clock. So he's gonna be home almost the same time he's when he takes the bus. But that's just because he left work later. But anyways, I know if I saw something like that. So let me dig into this. And what's going to give it a kick as well is that I put a can of fire roasted diced tomatoes. Okay? Usually I would have used 2 cans of diced tomatoes, but I saw the fire roasted and I was like, I've had this for a while because I have another recipe that calls for fire roasted diced tomatoes, and I bought 2 in case I needed 2, but I only ended up using 1. But fire roasted diced tomatoes does not make it spicy, does not make it real, whoa, it just gives it the right kick. Okay, it's really good. Okay, so let me get a spoon. Okay, and I'm going to try this for you guys. Okay. Oh my goodness. That is so good. Let me do my dance. So good. Woo. Woo. It really is that good. So tomorrow and Thursday, my husband works from home. It's like an orientation he can use the phone, computer, or iPad for a Zoom, kind of like. Okay, so I'll have to, if I want to watch TV, I'll have to go in the room or see if I can somehow hook up my headphones that are wireless. I don't know. Or because it's hard to watch the TV in the room because there's no TV stand. So I'd have to lay on my stomach at the end of the bed. And if I lay on my stomach, I'll be in a lot of pain when I get up, and I'm in a lot of pain. Laying that way hurts me, so I can't. I don't know. Would my husband go sit on the bed in the room and let me have the living room? I'd still have to turn it down some because they could still probably hear it from the room, but not as much. But anyways, I'll see. But he'll work 8 hours. It'll be 8 hours. And then Thursday, it's 4 or 5 hours. So he'll be done 12:30 or 1:30. And then Friday, he's got to go in the morning to the office he was at when he went for the interview. He's going to turn in his direct deposit. He's got to pick up his ID, his badge, and one other thing. I forgot what he said. So he's got to do that Friday. So he doesn't work Friday. So I'm like, so his first paycheck is going to be not so good because Thursday it's only 4 to 5 hours. He's not working Friday. He doesn't start doing full-time 8 hours every single day until Monday. So he'll be short 1.5 days. Oh, well, it's okay. Because this is training time. So he's working during the day, Monday through Friday, just during training. And then after training, it'll be overnight I don't know if it'll be Monday through Friday, weekends off, or will he have to work some weekends? I do not know that. He doesn't know that right now either. That's so good, I can't help it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and I'm going to sit down and eat. And then when my husband gets home, I'll get up and serve him. So I'm going to go sit down. Let me put this lid on here. I don't trust. Okay. So I'm going to end this live the way I end all lives. I appreciate anybody who came on to say hi and talk to me. I appreciate anybody who's going to come on later or tomorrow and watch the replay. Stay positive. I love you guys. And tomorrow I'll be live. Tomorrow's Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Central on Elizabeth Gibbs and Instagram, AngelBabyGirl77, because I did Elizabeth's life today. So tomorrow is Elizabeth Gibbs. And even though I went on there for live tonight, that doesn't count for my afternoon live. I did Elizabeth's life today, so I'll do Elizabeth Gibbs tomorrow for the afternoon. You see? So it'll be 1:30 p.m. Central. All right? On Elizabeth Gibbs, this page right here, if you're watching from Facebook, it'll be Elizabeth Gibbs Facebook page. If you're going to come over and watch on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, come join me. I have two pages, Elizabeth Gibbs, my main page, and my secondary page is Elizabeth's Life. Elizabeth, 'S, Life, Life. Okay? And when I go on Elizabeth Gibbs, I usually go on Instagram, AngelBabyGirl77. Okay? The only time I don't go on Instagram when I go on Elizabeth Gibbs is when I'm doing my cooking live, because I'm on here with you guys, YouTube. Okay? When I go on Elizabeth's Life, it's just Elizabeth's Life. But in the future, I might start doing my lives when I do Elizabeth's Life. I might also come on YouTube. When I come on Elizabeth Gibbs, go to Instagram. So I might start doing that so I don't have to do a separate live on YouTube. And maybe that'll help me pick up more subscribers if I do some lives on YouTube. So we'll see. And I'll let y'all know ahead of time if I decide to. All right? So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. And Shannon, you have a great evening. I hope you can sleep tonight and have a great day tomorrow. All right? Talk to you later, YouTube.